Gentlemen, I'm going to call this meeting the energy. I'm going to first turn me down. People have been telling me that all weekend. Call this, pardon me, call this subcommittee meeting, the energy subcommittee of the House Energy, Utilities, and Telecom to order this morning. We have a second look at House Bill 449 LC 364612. The measure hasn't changed since our meeting last Thursday, I believe. We wanted to give the parties opportunity to provide feedback. We don't have any. We have the author of the bill online. Representative Smith, I don't see anyone here that has, we don't have anyone signed up that has a question. You have the same language. Do you want to impart any wisdom on us, or
can you hear me now, Mr. Chairman?
Try again, Representative Smith.
No. Yes, sir. Can you hear me now, Mr. Chairman? Can you hear me now?
We can.
You can? Okay. Look, first off, let me say thank you. I don't normally do this. I'm not a big Zoom guy, but I appreciate you accommodating me. I apologize for not being there in person, and I certainly appreciate the opportunity to do this. There have been no changes. I only have one comment. I know, well, a couple. Meredith Weaver and Rick Lana in the audience, and they were there with us last week at the subcommittee. And Rick is the chair of the governmental affairs for the GUCC, which is the Georgia Utilities Coordinating Council. And they've been meeting since last June, putting together this package that they agree upon. So this legislation in front of us that we talked about the other day, the number one issue is safety. And they've worked together to come up with the language of this bill. Now, when you get 14 to 16 groups together, they're not going to agree on everything. So in this bill are the things that they do agree upon, but the things that they do not, we dropped a study committee bill, which, you know, study committees may or may not be approved, but we did drop that so that we can get together either through a study committee or a committee that's appointed by the chair, Chair Parsons, to study this over the interim and work on the differences that the groups have. So I don't want anybody to think that this whole bill was, you know, everything was hunky-dory. There are glitches, so we put the glitches in the study committee. I hope that kind of clears that up. So, but I can answer any questions, or like I say, Rick Lon is there and he can do the technical, but I can go through it. But safety is the number one issue.
You're not recognized for that purpose to go through it. That is.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate the opportunity.
No, I don't want to cut you off, but I do appreciate your comments, and what the chair heard you say was, this is better. This is going to improve safety for Georgians, but there's work yet to be done. And given that this is a step forward, and you have a study committee, Representative, we're not going to hear that today. It's a House study committee. It's not crossover day.
Correct.
Sensitive, and therefore we have several things on our plate, and by we I mean the entire House, as well as this committee. So we're going to pass on that. But I have communicated to the members that were interested here that does not infer a disconnection between, you know, the conversations that were had about moving this bill and the study committee. It's not a reflection on that going together, because I'm sure if the study committee doesn't come out, the Chairman Parsons will put a working group together for you. So
yes, sir.
Again, this is a step forward to the members of the subcommittee, but there's work to be done, and that will get scheduled and done in the interim. HB 449 LC 364612. No changes since the last subcommittee. Are there any questions? Any questions, subcommittee members, online, virtually? We're in a position to take action on this. What's the pleasure of the subcommittee? House Bill 449 LC 364612. I have a motion to pass and a second. Any discussion? Discussion on the motion? No further. Representative Carson, Chairman Carson, do you have a?
No, it's too early in the morning.
Okay, no further discussion. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed, no. Online, clear. It is unanimous. This moves on to full committee with a due pass recommendation. Thank everybody. Again, we're going to save the resolution for the study committee for a later day when we're not pressed for crossover, since it is House only. No further business for the subcommittee will be adjourned if there's no objection. Seeing no objection, we are adjourned.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.